John, it's always good to see you, man.
Good to see you. Good to see you.
You've had a busy couple of years, and I want to get a sense, first of all, I mean, it's kind of an exciting time for you in that I feel like we're starting to see, obviously the Star Wars stuff we've been seeing, but we're starting to see what's come out of Star Wars and the choices you made in the wake of that insane opportunity.
Oh, yeah.
Namely Detroit, which is what we're here to talk about primarily. But I'm just curious, out of that opportunity, out of the Star Wars whirlwind, did you make kind of like a list of priorities, like, okay, this is what I want to do now with this opportunity that's at my feet, or how do you approach things?
I'm a selfish audience member. I like watching so many films from so many different genres, and I just wanted to be in projects that I like to watch, and I'm just trying to tick as many off as possible and collaborate obviously with the best, and Star Wars gave me that opportunity. Yeah. So when Detroit came along, I was just like, I'm not going to wait until this trilogy to be over before I start to go towards versatility, and I feel like I have the skill set to do so. So Detroit served itself as another opportunity, but with much more purpose for me.
What kind of purpose? What are you talking about there?
Because it's about an issue that obviously hits home to many of us all around the world, and at the same time it's a chance to watch Kathryn Bigelow at work. And I just set up my own company, and I just have strings behind the scenes, and I'm getting my feet warm in terms of just exploring other creative choices I can make, and seeing her work and seeing that she has come to that stage in which she has that creative freedom. Obviously, I was inspired by on a day-to-day basis, so yeah. Detroit was a great opportunity.
She's someone that, I mean, for any film fan, they followed her from early in her career, whether it was films like Near Dark and Point Break, but but certainly in the last couple films, she's hit this insane groove where she's, dealing with the world that we're living in now, and putting her lens on it, and putting audience members, like, creating such an immediacy of these like fraught moments. I mean, it's the sustained tension when I think of Hurt Locker and 0 Dark 30, and especially Detroit, frankly. Like the second act of this film is insane. It's like you're the audience member is there with you guys. Yeah. I mean, is that something? I guess my question is sort of like, what is the Kathryn Bigelow environment? What were you hoping to get out of the experience, and what did you in fact get out of the experience?
Well, what you find if you've watched at least 0 Dark 30 or The Hurt Locker, she strips movies of that kind of, I don't know how to articulate it, but it's like a Hollywood rhythm. Bad things happen, good things happen, peace, calm, middle, beginning, middle, end. She strips all of that and just goes reality. Yeah. And that's the issue. That's what makes it so, sometimes you have to be emotionally engaged with a Kathryn Bigelow movie at all times. You're kind of, it's strange, you're drawn towards that. So if you as an audience member feel like you have to emotionally work to just keep on top of the characters and the story, then as an actor on set, it's a whole different level of work ethic, but at the same time it's enjoyable because, I come from the UK, in which in drama school, craft is kind of like held as number one. You've got your craft set, then you've got the opportunity, you've got the chance to do something, and she just creates an environment that just makes you a better actor. Yeah. I think she could make a cat win an Oscar.
I feel, because that's the challenge for the next film. Her talking cat movie is going to be amazing.
Talking cat movie, Kathryn Bigelow directing. Not my idea.
No, that was my horrible idea. Gonna pitch it to her later. I need your backup.
No, I'll voice one of the other characters. Yeah, we got something going on, mate.
So John and I were talking earlier. To be honest, he thinks it's a horrible idea, but I think he's going to come around.
Re-edit of Detroit, no John Boyega.
Oh, yeah, the only thing that Detroit was missing was a talking cat. Oh. No, so I mean, it's funny because I think when I think of you and the experiences I've had talking to you, you have such like a big personality. You obviously kind of like are enjoying this moment, and you kind of making the most of it. And like this can't be, and it's a job, right? You're not there to have fun, but it can't be necessarily a fun experience. I think of someone like Anthony Mackie too, who's also like I'm sure you guys like got along like gangbusters because he's similarly like the biggest personality I've ever met.
I see Mackie like a box of skills, just running around the world, just sharing his happiness and jokes. He's a great laugher and a good spirit. Yeah.
But do you have to stifle that though on this?
No, but there's fun comes in different shades to me, but working on this kind of level and this kind of intensity is fun to me, because after you've done a take and you see, you know, Kathryn's eyes light up and you're like, no, do you feel like you've got it? And she's like, yes. And that to me is the joy of it. Yeah, it's the joy of it. And especially knowing that, you know, these cameras represent millions of people all around the world who will eventually see this movie. We're secretly filming it, you know, in Boston in a you know, building, and no one's around, and you know, one day everyone's going to see it. So it requires a commitment, and that commitment is for me, it's enjoyable, and her process has just made this a great experience. Yeah, one that I will never forget.
I'm sure that you also have to build like a camaraderie with that kind of cast when you're in kind of these intense situations.
Yeah, especially after seeing, we'll come up to each other. You know, I'd always get a pat on my back saying, "You okay? Yeah, right. Good." And it felt good.